Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of Beginner's Guide to Playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So today's episode is going to focus on the event store and what you should get at the end of the event. We're also going to take a look at the cards that you have at the end of each event as you're filling up an inventory and figuring out what you should do with them. So let's take a look at the event store here. Now it does depend on the number of coins that you're able to get for every single event. I think that if as much as possible, try to amass as many of the coins as you can because that will make your decision making a lot easier. But let's say you don't have enough to get everything, what should you focus on? So again, depending on your level and depending on where you're at, it's going to be different. So being a new player, right now I'm ranked 9, none of my cards are strong enough and I don't have anything built up just yet. So I will be skipping all of these items and I'm not even going to focus on the potions just yet. Instead, I'm going to look at the Blade Shard and Longanite Shard. These are the two items that will help you evolve your heroes that are not from the event. So the Blade Shard is going to be important for you to evolve cards from 3-star to 4 stars. And then Longanite Shard is what you'll need in order to evolve from 4-star to 5-star. Again, these are cards that are not going to be your support cards from the event. These are going to be cards that will have special catalysts that's required. And these are ones that are one of the most common. So these are definitely two that you want to prioritize. The Villain's Tool Shard is something that's hard to obtain if you're just starting out. And some heroes do require this. For example, Tikbalang, the event card from this event, does require Villain's Tool, and so if you can, this would also be a good one to pick up. So these are some of the catalysts that you should think about getting. And in terms of the Smelter Shards, Striker's Hill, and Runethorn Shards, these are going to be useful for crafting your relics. So right now, being ranked 9, I can't equip any relics yet, so this is not as important for me, but since I do have enough coins, I will probably pick them up afterwards. What would be nice to get also here as you're starting out is taking a chance at the 3-star and 4-star heroes. This is why I was saying you can get these cards within the event for free, so you don't have to spend gems to pick up these 3-star and 4-star heroes. You might as well get them for free using the tokens if you have them. Or if you wanted to, you can also spend 400 to get a one of these 4-star cards that are possible for 5 stars, although I usually get these only if I have extras remaining. Now, Wisps. Wisps are really expensive as well as the shards. These are what you would use in order to evolve a card without a duplicate card. And I think that if you have a lot of tokens left over, then you could get one of these. But if you are looking to decide which one to go after, I would actually say it may not be as useful for you right now, especially if you're starting out. But then again, it's completely up to you. Personally, I'm going to be skipping getting the Wisp since I only have 3,000 tokens here. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to get the shard. So let's go ahead and purchase this whole thing. So 20 shards is going to give you a full blade. Again, this is going to be useful for evolving a 3-star hero up to 4 stars. Now, I think that if I'm playing the event, it's going to be less likely that I will need it all as much, but I'm getting it just in case I have a card that I do want to use that might be helpful for my team. But I think that right now, getting the Longanite Shard is going to be more effective and more bang for the buck. So let's go with that. So let's make sure we get these first. And then we can take a look also at what we have for our 3-star and 4-star heroes. So let's go ahead and spend 100 here. So this is Voluptus, one of the cards that is a support card from the last Valentine's Day event, and I will not have any catalysts to evolve her, but eventually I might pick up some. I'll have enough of these daily dungeon coins in order to get the ones I need to level her up. Although by the time I get enough, I may not want to evolve her. So these are just cards that I can use immediately right now in my team. And I have Venera, which is another card that's from the same event, but this is an event card and she will require a Longanite in order to evolve to 5 stars. We can take a look at a little bit later. So right now we've got 2,000 tokens remaining. And what I would recommend is getting some of these smelter shards because you will need them in order to craft your relics once you are able to equip them. And so getting a head start on them would be good. These will become very abundant in the future. So I would say you can get them for the first couple of events as you're building up, but then afterwards, as you unlock more dungeons and whatnot, you wouldn't need to get them anymore. But since this is my first event, I don't have any of these right now, so I am choosing to get these. And so with this purchase, I now have 1,000 remaining, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get these because this is going to be the cheapest way for me to get a full shard that will allow me to evolve one of the heroes in the future up to 5-star or potentially 6 stars. So this is always a very good deal to get, especially if you have the coins. Now we've got 280 remaining and we still have some choices. So the rune shard, this is going to be something that you can get later on in the future. Right now I wouldn't worry about it. This is going to be more advanced relics or higher level relics. Same thing with the rune thorn. And so right now then the best choice for me would be to get the daily dungeon coin. This does go up in price afterwards. And then you can also choose. If you wanted some potions, you can as well. But I personally think that daily dungeon coin is a little bit more worth it. And also, since it does go up in price, so we can only get a couple anyway. Now we've got enough to go after the potion, and we can pick up a couple here. So with 70 tokens remaining, we can take a look to see if there's anything remaining, and it looks like we can get some runethorn shards. So we'll pick up a couple here, and that should be everything. So that is basically the strategy I would go with when thinking about what to get in your event store. But again, it's completely up to you and depends on what your needs are. So now let's take a look at the cards that we have. And so these are the cards I was able to earn through the event itself. I was able to earn the support card and also Shepherd of Souls from the event, and then I got Moriarty as a reward for placing top 5 in the event here. So I got all dark cards, so I was just able to build up a dark team, which is nice. And then Elven Era is a card that, as I mentioned, is a event card. And if you look at evolving this card, you'll see it requires a Longanite. And because we were able to purchase them, we do have enough to be able to level up. But I do need a Heart of Love, which is another catalyst I don't have right now. I also need essences here. So this is going to take a while. Now, in terms of cards that so right now I have 28 out of 40, but let's say I am at 40 and I need to decide what to do. I can either spend 100 gems to give myself 5 more spaces, or I can get rid of cards. When you think about getting rid of cards, I would recommend not selling the cards that are only a 1-star or 2 stars. Instead, use them to level up. So what I mean by that is pick a card, and you can pick a card here and just go to power up and use these cards that are 1 stars and 2 stars because they give you a little bit of gold and they're not worth any dust. And so you can use this to level up instead of using potions. So it's a good way to get a couple of levels into your heroes. And also, if you have a card that is 3 stars or more, I would recommend, if you don't want to, you can then sell for dust. But picking the right cards to dust is going to be important. So typically, any cards that have the potential to evolve to 6 stars, I would say you should keep it unless you have absolutely no more room. So then if you focus on just getting rid of cards that only have 3 or 4 star potential, then that would be good. With the exception of a card like Starcaller Warrior, make sure you take a look at the back of the card. Any cards that give you slow or delay turn, you must remember to keep them. They're very valuable, and these cards you cannot farm anywhere in the campaigns, so make sure you keep this card. Starcaller Warrior is a very useful card because you can I will talk about this in other episodes. In fact I have talked about it in other episodes, but make sure that you keep this card. Instead, what you can get rid of are these cards here. All of these cards are cards that you can safely get rid of because at any time you can get them in the campaigns again. So if you needed these cards, you can go back and get them in the campaign. And then you can see here, Starcaller Warrior, there is no way for you to get them. All right, so that's the difference here. Another type of card that you should always keep would be cards that give you something like a gem spawn. So any cards that create gems, whether it's 5 gems or multiple gems, make sure you keep them and don't awaken those cards using the same duplicate cards. It's going to be more useful for you to have 2 of these cards, for example, than an awakened card that is more powerful. So I see a lot of people when they start out, they awaken all of their cards and they only have 1 copy of each card. That is something that you want to avoid, especially when you're starting out. You might be tempted to get a little bit more power into your single card, but remember, having 2 of those cards will actually be more beneficial because each time you awaken, you're only getting 20% increase in damage. So having 2 of those equals double the damage. So you're always going to be better off just going with multiple copies of those cards. Other things that are good are going to be cards that give you turn delay or gem spawns, power gems, regular gems, etc. So those are the cards that you should think about, and you should have plenty of these cards that are 3-star or 4-star at most that you can get rid of. And then eventually, if you do have a full inventory, you find that you can't get rid of any more cards, then consider spending 100 gems to increase your slots. So that is all for today's episode. Hopefully this is helpful for you to decide on what we can do with the event store and also the cards that you have. So that is all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.